just does 1 at 1/2 only. What are you doing? Get in. So what happens is it just does 1 at 1/2, only a half hour. Half hour you only get 1 strike on these clocks. Yeah, just half an hour. Sorry. And on the hour you get all the dongs. There you are. That's the key to wind it up. Every now and again, that's the key. That moulding, that's the key for the clock. So what you do is you stick the key in there before, and then if you need to wind it, you just turn it like that, so it's getting wound up. If it stops going, look underneath where the key is. And you do the same with that hand. That's for the strikes, is that? Turn it, I'm sorry about my hand being in the way. Which is, oh, that's the key. Sometimes it keeps stopping and eventually it settles down and it goes for a few weeks. That's the key where the clock hole is for the strikes. And that is for the time. The 24-hour dial is that one. So when it's timed up, I say it's at the end now, so we leave it now for another week or a half if it needs another one. So that's my favourite clock there, that one on the wall. That one there. I think it's in D major, is that, so right, we'll do this one. No, I don't know if that needs a wind up or not. You can have a look. This is a Lincoln regulator wall clock. It's the same one, but it's a different type of a sound, so if it slips, just hold it up to the wall. Watch how it winds up. I've got the door open because I'm winding my wall clocks up, so you can see how it's done. That's the pendulum that swings. It's an old clock, is this, so just Careful, don't let it break off the wall. That's it. These are just Roman numerals. These, I got this a while ago, but it's doing really well. It's been keeping its good time and it hasn't ever stopped. So that one's a bit faulty over there, but we're trying to help it keep it ticking. So what we do is you turn that to wind it back up so it doesn't stop. That one is the strikes again, so you just do it very gently. When you hear it clicking, it means it's tightening. That means it's getting the spring tightened up. When it gets tightened, we stop. Sit there, that's a good boy. You can see inside now. The doors are open because I've just wound that one up. See the difference in my old wind up clocks that strike the hours and the half hours. Just them. So when we finish winding them up, either once or twice a week, every 2 weeks, then we shut the door. Shut the door, lock the door, sorry, and make sure it's on the right setting. So we've done them. And then this one, I'll show you the inside of this clock I've really enjoyed. This is my friend clock that strikes the bell with his hammer. So I'll show you the inside of that, another history of them. It's the same again, but this one only strikes the hours. So there, that's the one for the timing, that one, and the other one there on the right, on the left hand side is for the striking, and that's the little pendulum that swings. And up there there's a little rod, but we pretend that's not there, so we just think it's the man striking the bell. So and then you want to see his hammer. So when he moves it, that hammer moves with him and he dongs that bell there. And I love this clock a lot. It reminds me of that one at Shipley. Can't believe I got it for free. So we've got the other key for that. So that's a different key. So it's a different type of a key, but it's a bit fatter than the other two on the other two clocks. So I'll show you how you wind this one up now. You put that in, if it's slow, and then you just give it a gentle turn. When it gets tightened, stop. Then the strikes, put it into the socket. Look at the key gently to make sure it's in there ready to wind the clock up, okay? I'll show you that like other people do with their clocks. Get hold of the key gently, give it a gentle turn, do not rush it, because if you go too fast it will snap the spring and it will overwind, so be very careful whoever buys these clocks in the future. When it's tightened, stop it, pull it out and put the keys back safely in the bottom of your clocks so they're all neat. You can see where they're all kept. For each clock I just keep them in there so I can find which key I want to use for winding my wall clocks up when they need to be done. So that's where I keep them, in this one. And that one is the mantel clock. That's my mantel clock one, so we're going to go and do that last one. Sorry about the door. So what you do, I can't do that key because I've knocked the chimes off, because it's not striking at the moment, because the strike is overwound on this one. This left hand side hole is overwound by accident. I went a bit too quick with it and I snapped the spring inside it, so now it doesn't strike at the moment. So we're going to have a look at that sometime in the future and repair it. So I'm sorry about that. So you can have a look at this mantel clock. So it's still here and it's still ticking really well. So these are all wind up clocks, because the ones that don't wind up are battery chimes and I don't really like them. So unless they've got a rod that comes down, a hecio clock that has two rods that come down, then that's alright. So this is the mechanism winding the timing up, because it's a 3 key wind up chiming clock, not a 2 key wind up. So this is to wind the mechanism up so it doesn't stop. So that there, you can see the key for the clock now. Right. It's in there ready because I haven't got ready to wind it up yet. It's an 8-day wind up is this mantel clock. So are you ready for this? Just very careful. What you do is get your thumb on it gently and then you give it a 8-day thing so it goes tight again, so it doesn't stop. It is a little bit slow in the wind up. And once it gets tight, once it stops and it gets tightened up, take the key out there and set the time. Is it? It's a bit fast, so we'll just move it a bit to keep it at the right time. Oh no, the doors come off because it's loose. It's the door and the clock, but it doesn't matter. I'll put it back on in a minute. So right, that's just my door for the clock. So yeah, alright, that's a good one. So we're back on track now with this mantel clock. I've wound it up so they're all done now, so we don't touch them again for a few weeks, or maybe next week. So